What's up, everybody? Mavs lose. And what sucks about this is that the Mavs lose on a night where a guy who has been gone for a minute is back tonight. You know him. You've been asking where he's been at. Kevin Durant. There's been speculation that he's been up in Brooklyn with Kevin Durant, getting some things worked out. But all that ceased to end tonight because right back here with us now, post-game, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you at Radio Guy Ray, Mr. Billy Allen is back with us. Where's the applause? Where is the applause?
Look, Walt, listen, words cannot express how excited I am to be back tonight, to join everybody.
On a hot L, though. On a hot L.
Yeah, be that as it is, we're still back. I do want to first start off by clearing up the rumors, man. The words always leak out and everything, and I'm one of those people that likes to, I like people to come directly to the source. So if you have any questions, come and ask me directly. It is true, I was in contact with Mr. Durant. We did sit down. We had a lunch. It was more of a brunch, actually. Myself, Mr. Ash and Mr. Irving was in the building, and they did try to persuade me to come and join them in Brooklyn. The money wasn't strong enough, man. But, you know me. Money wasn't strong enough. So after hearing their offer, I came back and spoke with Mr. Cuban and Mr. Doncic and Mr. Porzingis, who was the real selling point for me. And I decided to keep my talents here in the 214-972-469 area.
So code. You're not a seven. You don't rep the 718. You're not repping 718 tonight.
Not familiar with it. I didn't take any phone calls while I was down there, so I wouldn't know anything about their area codes or anything like that. I'm just familiar with the locals here.
Well, how the hell are you, man?
I'm good, man. I am good. For those who want to know, Walt, I put up a picture on Facebook while the game was going on.
You came after my restaurant there, man.
Yeah.
I used to eat there back in the day all the time for lunch when I worked over here in the Addison area.
Oh man, well listen, I ate there. That's a one and done for me, man. I don't know what happened. I actually went in. I spoke with whoever the manager was, the night manager. And I just explained to them, I said, hey, I got some food, a couple of weeks ago, lady didn't remember me. But I told her, I said, well, I don't think you were here when I ordered. I said, but I got really, really sick. And, I just, had to go to the hospital and so on and so forth. And the lady apologized and actually offered to, make me more food if I wanted.
I was going to say, hopefully she didn't offer you more food.
Yes, she did. She did. And it was definitely a negative. So, but shout out to the lady there. She was very, very sweet, man. So I'm not going to hold any grudges against them. I just won't be spending my hard-earned dollars there.
I mean, all could be forgiven, man. She said she was very sorry.
Well, yeah, I do forgive her. I forgive the company. I mean, it is sometimes you just don't get it right, and it's okay. But be that as it is, man. Spent my little time in the hospital trying to recover. I bounced back. Was properly medicated the whole time I was there. That was always a good experience. And I'm back and I'm ready to roll, man. Feeling a lot better than what I was this time last week. Ready to talk these here Mavericks, man. Let's get to it.
Well, I mean, and like I said, you come back and it's on a hot L tonight, man.
Yeah, Mavericks, tough loss tonight. Tough loss against the Spurs.
Wait a minute, hold on. Before you go forward, so let me get this straight. We're going to lose to the Houston Rockets and the Spurs, but we're going to beat the Utah Jazz and the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. I see what we're doing here.
I just explained this to you how this works, Walt.
I see what we're doing here.
For the people at home, I just explained this to Walt before we came on. The Mavericks have now started to pick up this whole Dallas Cowboys syndrome. We play up and down to the level of our competition, and we are not good enough to do that type of thing. But we play up to the level of our competition. So when the Bucks come to town, or the whoever else you think is really, really good, the Jazz, the Lakers with LeBron and AD, we'll find a way to win games like that for whatever reason. But the Rockets come to town, as you see the Spurs come to town, whoever else you think is really, really below average basketball team, we find ways to lose because we play to the level of our competition, which is not good. They've got to get that fixed, and they've got to be ready because losing to the Spurs, especially in the way that they lost tonight, is unacceptable. The Spurs are not even on the same. They're not even on the same wavelength as the Dallas Mavericks. But tonight, they were the better basketball team. They won the game.
They hit a last-second shot.
Yeah.
Does that still make you better?
No. They're not a better basketball team. I think if you run it back with them, 10 times over the next month, the Mavericks will win 8 out of those 10 games. I just think that the Spurs, you got to keep in mind, the Spurs are playing with a desperation unlike anything else. They've lost 5 straight games, coming in 2 tonight. The Mavericks are, coming off of, their win against, who was it? Was it the Bucks was the last game we played?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're coming off a big win against the Bucks, albeit without Giannis. I mean, you still beat the Bucks. And you came in, and let's just call it for what it is. You kind of overlooked this team. The Mavs and Spurs are not the same rivalry that they were back when Duncan and Dirk and those guys were. So you don't get up for the game the same way you do. Me as a fan, I don't get up for the Spurs. I'm sorry. There's nothing about that excites me. And vice versa. There's no Dirk, there's no Duncan, there's no Ginobili Parker, there's no Finley Nash. There's none of that. So for me, I can't get up for the Spurs. I'm sorry. And the Mavericks they came out and they looked lazy, and they didn't do what they needed to do, man. And when you let DeJounte Murray, who I think is a good basketball player, but he's not 25 points good. DeMar DeRozan, he's not a 33-point guy. He's not. He's a good basketball player. He's not a 33-point guy. And Lonnie Williams, however many points he gave you tonight, he's a good basketball player, but he's not that guy. But the Mavericks, when you play against them, I mean, we're just, we tend to let guys do it.
Why not pressure the ball up the floor and let them walk it up? Good question. Really good question.
Well, Mitch, I like to pose a question to everyone watching tonight. Walt, I've said this before, and you criticized, not me, but you criticized this statement before. When you have a guy who's hot, I always say, hey, when the game is on the line, you make sure that even if you give up a good shot, you don't let that guy hit it. This guy's proven that he can beat you all night long. You've had nothing for him. So when DeMar DeRozan,
I didn't even realize he had 33.
Yeah. Oh, he was cooking. He cooked the whole third quarter. My thing is, at the end of the game, he's hot. You have had no answer for him. Rush a second man to him. Get the ball out of his hands. Make one of these other guys. Make DeJounte Murray hit another shot. Make Patty Mills hit a shot. Make these other guys go and hit a shot in that moment. Instead, you let the one guy that's been killing you all game, you put him in a one-on-one situation, like you got Klay Thompson and all these guys surrounding the perimeter, and that's not the case. And you let him go one-on-one, and he hits a big shot, and then the game is over. I've never understood that. Rick is normally pretty good about doing that type of thing, but, for whatever reason.
Oh, no. Shots at Rick. Never taking a shot at Rick tonight.
Look, we saw it earlier in the year. I forget who else we were playing. I think with Dame Lillard. When we played against the Trailblazers, he had been cooking us all night. I don't care if C.J. McCollum's on the team. I don't care if Carmelo Anthony's on the team. Those guys are not the killer that Dame Lillard is. You have to play the odds. Get the ball out of Dame's hands and live with a contested shot by Melo or CJ and hope that it doesn't go in. If they hit it, they just hit a big shot. But you just can't let the killer stab you in the neck with the knife, man. You just can't do it. And the Mavericks they don't seem to understand that concept as it is.
Well, let's go over here to the highlights. And after the highlights, I'll tell the story of how I pissed off JJ Redick and how he might not be signing back to the Mavericks after what I did yesterday in the press conference. A back and forth between me and him a little bit. I'm going to tell that. But let's get to the highlights here, Billy. Let's come over here. I know you haven't done this in a while, so let's see how good you still are at going breaking down these highlights.
Well,
let's start off with, we've seen a lot of Luka to KP tonight, and somebody put up here the beef is over.
Debatable.
Debatable. You still on the fence about it?
Well, no, I'm not on the fence about it. I never really thought that was real.
Billy, you missed this right here. Check this guy right here. This is Jason Tejada, right? He is from the Philippines checking in our show.
Our guy, what's up, man?
Jason wants to know when we go live. He says he's going to check us out every time.
There you go.
He's from the Philippines. And I checked the numbers, man. We're pretty big in the Philippines. We get a lot of people in the Philippines watching our show.
There you go.
We might go overseas and be stars.
Hey, let's go over there and do a remote broadcast. Jason, you set it up, man. Let us know where we need to be. I'll work on getting a passport so I can get over
there. Let's see here. So was he big stops tonight?
Oh, yeah, he was definitely big stops. Once these highlights are over, I'm going to blow some minds with what I'm about to tell some people. There's a little something that people might need to come to terms with. And we're going to
31 points tonight. Big stops, Gaby.
Yep. And was all over the glass tonight. 31 points. I can't remember how many rebounds he had. I want to say he had at least 15.
15. It was exactly 15.
Okay, 31-15. I'll take that from my big man. That's
okay. So that works for you.
Oh, absolutely, without question. I got Dwight Powell there with the layup. I see it.
Oh, we did see the Dwight Powell say, Dodo throwing the ball, pretty pissed off. Oh, what are we doing? Oh, is that Patty? That's Patty Mills right there on that three.
Mr. Mills.
Yeah. Good pay. Oh, Dwight Powell, another Dwight Powell sighting.
Yeah, Dwight was actually pretty active tonight.
89 points tonight in 15 minutes.
Yeah, he was pretty active tonight, man. He was on the glass, creating extra opportunities on the offensive glass. I thought he did pretty good. See, that's a problem. You can't let guys like that score. I'm sorry.
Kick door. No kick doors on the night.
Nah, I don't know what's going on with Josh Richardson, man. I remember laying up in the hospital room.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The night he gave you 1 point.
Yeah, who was that? Was that the Rockets?
I think that was the Rockets game.
Yeah, he looked terrible. I was like, man, he can't even hit a layup right now. I don't know what's going on with old Josh Richardson, man.
So I guess we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that play here in just a second.
Yeah.
When we get to it, I think I know why they didn't pressure the ball up court.
Yeah, because everybody wants to know what's going on there. Jason, that's
I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down for him. Big stops right here. Put it down.
Here, our guy.
Big stops. Come on. Well, these Spurs did not quit tonight. I mean, they was coming at the Mavericks tonight.
No, listen.
They were coming hard. They were coming for the Mavericks tonight.
Yeah, when you've lost 5 straight games, man, you play with the urgency, unlike a team that's won 5 straight. You're scrapping and clawing, trying to do anything you can to get a W. And that's what the Spurs did, man. They were the more scrappy team all night, to be honest with you. I mean, the Mavericks are the better team, but the Spurs on this particular night on April 11th.
This is another one of those we talked about this the other night. Teams like this where they got to run up and down the court. That's what they struggle with. Because these Spurs are running tonight.
Yeah, the Mavericks, they just, even with that, I mean, the Mavericks just, they just didn't do enough they allowed a lot of very, very mediocre, average to mediocre players look like all-stars. And
there's Dodo. Okay, Dodo, don't put it down on him like that.
Big time dunk.
I'm going to go over here to his numbers and see how big time he was.
Yeah, I'm sure the numbers are.
No, 9 points.
Yeah, see. Remember that. Well, I told you, if we can get 12 from him on any given night with excellent defense, we can win some basketball games out here.
I bet. Melly Mel with 2 back-to-back threes after he got dunked on.
The back-to-back.
Oh, credit to the Spurs. They played desperate game. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And this kid here, I mean, Lonnie Walker, I mean, he showed up big tonight.
Yeah, he did.
Lonnie showed up big tonight. Tim had a very quiet game.
Yeah, he did.
Hey man, it's almost a must win for us. Remember when we need that 6 or 5? Yeah, you're right. You're getting closer to having to do that play-in game. You don't want that.
Yep.
Jalen Brunson. Oh, big stops in there doing work.
Just doing what he does.
Okay, Jalen Brunson for 3. Brunson had an all right. Gave you 11 points tonight. Would like to get more, but it's okay. Oh, that's part of that 33 from DeMar DeRozan right there, Bill.
Yep.
Dodo for 3. Part of his 9 points that he gave you tonight.
Yep, a dunk, a 3, and I'm sure maybe a couple scrap layups.
Luka was out there putting that body on him tonight. Big stops. 3-point action from big stops.
Kristaps.
Here we go right here, Luka. Yeah. I mean, the Spurs were giving it to the Mavericks tonight. Nice come in on Luka.
Yeah. Luka should have took more advantage of that matchup down there. They gave it to him all night. He should have took more advantage of that.
Yeah, I didn't know he had the unfortunate pleasure of guarding DeMar DeRozan tonight. That's probably why he got 33.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really his main responsibility. What they did is they kept switching.
Okay. Here we go. Here goes the play right here. See DeMar coming up court. Okay, so the answer to what I feel to this question is why they didn't do anything was because I think they didn't want to give up a foul. I think they didn't want to press him too hard and take the chance of getting a foul, and that's what happened on that play.
I don't care how he did as far as bringing the ball down the floor. My thing is when you get down that last 5 seconds, you're coming. You have to force the issue and make him pass out of a double team and put the ball in someone else's hands and force them to hit a game-winning shot. You cannot let the guy who has scored the last 10 points for you, get the last shot off. You cannot do that. You've got to change the narrative. You got to force the ball out of his hands. This is basic common sense basketball IQ stuff, okay? I do it on 2K, Walt. Somebody's kicking my ass, man. Whatever the little default button is to run a double team, let's get the ball out of his hands, okay?
Yeah.
This is just common sense stuff. But it is what it is, man. I like Jason's comment there. Like he says, I like Luka today in clutch. He's not settling for threes, and he's more dangerous inside in the paint. I'll agree with that. But before we get into the whole JJ Redick thing, man, I do have something that I need to announce to the people.
Go ahead, sir.
This is yours. Some feathers here, okay? Feathers. Now, don't be a fool. I have the Luka Doncic T-shirt on right now. Do not be a fool here, guys, and understand what I am telling you.
Remember, guys, he's been in the hospital. He's been heavily medicated for what he's about to say. So
listen,
just take it.
It's right here. It's right here. Listen.
I need to see that prescription after you say this.
No. Listen, guys, I want people to understand this, man, and I'm dead serious when I say this. If we're going to be honest about this, if we're going to be completely honest and put away the Luka love and all this stuff, man, the best player on this basketball team.
Here we go.
Over the past 2 to 3 weeks, really, has been number 6. He's been the alpha on this basketball team. Yes, number 6. Kristaps Porzingis has been the best overall basketball player on this Mavericks team over the past 2, almost 3 weeks. Now, you'll find games where Luka's had more points. He's done this, he's done that, and that's all fine and dandy. But his overall effect on the game, from scoring to rebounding to defending to playing hard, getting those extra plays, and not putting up stupid shots. Walt, I almost threw something at my TV tonight. I saw Luka Doncic come down, and we were in a prime position to tie the game. This was late in the fourth quarter, I think maybe around the 5-minute mark. We were coming down. Game was pretty close, and he comes down and just settles for that like step back three, and it's like, guys, stop doing that. That cannot be it. You have a matchup. Go to it.
Oh, look at that. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. Whoa.
See,
are you trying to turn the MFFLs against Luka? What are you doing? This is what you do on your first night back? You try to turn the people against him?
Listen, Luka is still nephew. I'm still with him.
Look at this. Look at this. I agree.
Hey,
I agree. KP has been all in. What?
If we're going to be honest, see, the problem is, Walt, a lot of people, they get stuck in the Luka love.
It's again, I agree. They are finally getting him involved early.
Well, listen, what I'm saying here, none of this is profound. Mitch is a smart basketball guy. So are our other listeners, man. What I'm saying is nothing profound here. This is nothing groundbreaking. But what people don't want to do is they do not want to look at the fact of what's going on. Kristaps Porzingis has been balling over the past 3 weeks. He has been
even in the Philippines, you got them agreeing with this, man. What are we doing right now?
We're sending international messages. We're getting it across the water here. Listen, Kristaps Porzingis, I've been saying it for a while now, Walt, and he points it out indirectly in his interviews. You see it just like I do. He's like, hey, when we're playing and we're moving the ball and we're doing this and we're doing that, and my teammates are calling me.
No. Hold on. When quote him right if you're gonna say it. When the ball moves.
Yeah, there you go. When the ball moves, it can't just go and look. Walt, let me tell the people at home a very, very quick, very brief story. When I was in the hospital, man, I was watching the game that we were playing. I believe it was against the Rockets. I want to say it was a game we lost against the Rockets. And one of the guys that was coming in to check on my vitals and everything stopped in the room and he's watching the game with me as we're doing whatever. And we were talking about Luka Doncic, and he brought up a very valid point. He's like, man, he said, I like Luka. He said, but Dallas has given it to him way too early. They've given him the reins and said, or we've made him larger than life way too early. Not to say he's not a big time player, but he says, man, where is the leadership? And Walt, you've heard me say this many of times. When it comes down to the Mavericks, Luka Doncic, yeah, he's a great skilled player. But when it comes to overall leadership, when they need to look at somebody and say, hey, who's the leader on this team? I don't know that we can. I don't know that we can look at nephew and say that it's him. I don't know that that's the case. It should be, but I don't know that he's at that point right now. And a lot of people are seeing that. And I think KP has kind of stepped up in the leadership role on this basketball team. And he's not a bad basketball player. When you add the leadership, well, we were having a different conversation.
KP has been playing like he is pissed. Wow.
He is pissed. He's tired of you guys ridiculing his game, criticizing him for something
KP plus minus has been more impressive. When KP went away a bit in that second half, so did Mavs. KP is a huge key. But come on, man, let's be honest. Luka and KP don't have that chemistry, that a duo must have inside inside and outside the court. I've been saying that for I don't know how long. I've been saying that for how long?
Yeah, I'll agree with that, Jason. I don't think they have that I don't think they have that buddy chemistry. But at the same time, I'm one of those guys that doesn't believe that that's absolutely necessary for y'all to go to the highest of levels. I don't know that Jordan and Pippen were like buddy off the floor like
they were. They played golf. They used to go play golf and stuff together.
I mean, yeah, but what does that really say? I mean, I like to play golf. You like to play golf. We're on the same golf course.
No, Jordan was going to take Jordan was golfing to take his money.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's what Jordan was doing. Stupid contested step back three.
Good point there.
Yeah.
Hey, Walt, I'm telling you, when the threes are falling, those step back, as Mark Followell likes to call them, step back jack, when those are falling, it's all good. But when they're not falling, they look like very, very stupid shots that he's taking at the wrong time.
Luka is too pampered. Carlisle never checks in when he does ridiculous timeouts or bad shots at the wrong time. I'm gonna tell you this, dude. Hey, Mitch. I'm gonna tell you this: they argue on the floor. They argue. They go back and forth with each other on the floor all the time. You might not see it sometimes, but they go back and forth with each other.
You know, well, I'm gonna tell you what Luka Doncic needs. I'm gonna tell you what Luka Doncic needs, man. People might not agree with this. Rick's gonna have to check him one good time on the floor. That's what he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to be like one of those situations where he told Rondo, "Sit your ass down." It's gonna be one of those type of situations. It's going to be necessary because right now Luka feels like he's above. I'm not gonna say he feels like he's above the team, but he feels like his word is the last word on the team. And I hate when superstars get treated that way because the head coach is there. He's the one that's ultimately going to take the blame when things don't go right. His job is going to be on the line. So I think Rick Carlisle has a championship pedigree. He knows what the hell he's doing. And so I'm sorry. Luka's never won a championship. Luka's never won a playoff series. Rick Carlisle has. You know, so my thing is, if it comes down to it, if Rick says, "Hey, this
been
is
a while,"
well, you know, true. I mean, that's fine, but I mean, at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. I can go back and find. I can scroll back and be it through the archives or whatnot. I can scroll back and I can find where Rick Carlisle has had playoff success. I cannot find that for Luka Doncic. Granted, it's early in his career. So my thing is, Luka, you need to listen to your coaches, man, and if Rick says that this is what we're doing and why we need to do it, then, you know, that's just what it is, period.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way because there's a story that I got to tell real quick, Billy. Of I really did it this time. I really screwed up this time, man. So yesterday, you know, JJ Redick was to have his press conference or his press release, and I was in attendance via Zoom on this deal, and it was my turn to ask Mr. JJ Redick a question, and my question to him was, despite some of the Mavs fans who may have been discouraged by the comments you made on your show about coming to Dallas, what would you say to get them back in and get them prepared for the threes that are about to rain down at the AAC, Billy?
Mm-hmm.
And his first question to me, his first response was, "Well, why would they be discouraged?" And I said, "Well, because of the comments you made on your podcast." And he was like, "Well, what did I say on the podcast that would get him discouraged?" And I was like, "Well, you know, the stuff you were saying about coming here." And he's like, "But I made sure that I did say that it wasn't a shot at Dallas, so I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Yeah, and in fairness, you did say that. You did say that it wasn't a shot." But I was like, "But the thing is that I guess the fans didn't feel that you didn't jump for joy about being in Dallas." So and then he was like, "Whatever," and then they went to the next question. I was like, "Okay."
Well,
was it a bad question? Was it a bad question, Billy?
No, not in the least bit. I think it was an excellent question, to be honest with you. I mean, Walt, this is you were traded from one team to another. The fans here in Dallas, the majority of fans here in Dallas, I wasn't on board at first. I wasn't as hyped as you were about it.
I still listen. Despite what happened, I'm still ready for the threes to rain down tomorrow night if it's going to start. I'm still wanting that to happen.
Well, after being given some time, at least here on my end, I got kind of excited about it too. Just thinking about the floor spacing and what he can provide for the team in terms of shooting and everything. And every time I look at Dorian Finney-Smith and watch all those shots missed, I think about JJ Redick and be like, man, that would be a nice 3-point specialist to have in the corner. Having said that, Walt, I don't think it's a stupid question at all. I thought it was an excellent question. But you just got to keep in mind, for what it is, the truth is he didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be here. That's the bottom line. He wanted to go to Brooklyn. We all knew he wanted to go to Brooklyn. The stories surfaced. Everything was being reported that he wanted to go to Brooklyn. He was up there trying to have lunch in place of me with Mr. Durant and those guys. And that's fine. I get it. You know, players want to go where they want to go. They have their preference. I get it. But at the same time, all he was saying was that he just felt like the New Orleans Pelicans per their front office and what they had discussed with him and the agreement that he thought they had in place. He just thought it was shady what they did. And people didn't want to hear that. And as a Mavericks fan, being someone who's receiving this guy in, and we're excited, we want to know that, oh, you're excited to be here and play with us. But, when you say stuff like that, no, you're not sliding Mavericks fans, but you're not doing anything to excite them and tell them, hey, I'm so glad to be in this new situation. And to our guy, I can't tell who this is who just put this comment up. But it's like, a lot of these players are used to those soft questions from the reporters, the baby questions. They're used to that. So when you come through with the real question like what you did, Walt,
I wasn't even trying to like.
Oh, we lost you. See, I'm having some technical difficulties.
Oh, okay, I'm back.
Popping back up. I want to thank everybody for joining us here.
There we go.
Tonight. Excited to have everybody.
I'm back, Billy.
Having a good time. Glad to be back. It's despite the Mavericks. It looks like we lost you for a minute, man.
I'm back, Billy.
Okay, got you.
We did lose you for a minute. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, man, I was just saying, I don't know what I wasn't trying to like front him out or anything like that. I'm just like, man, what are you gonna say to get us big hype to for the 3 points that are about to rain down? I was giving him like, all right, this is cheers, like, hey, I'm about to rain down here. You guys need. I was hoping he was gonna say what I said. I was hoping he's gonna say you guys need to bring the umbrella and the ponchos in the arena because I'm about to rain them down here.
Well, you know what, Walt? The easiest way to get over this whole thing with JJ Redick is for him to just come in and play good basketball. You get 5 3-point attempts on the night. Go 3 for 5, and like I say, man, shoot 40-45% from 3 when we give you those open opportunities, and knock down 90% of your free throw opportunities when you get those, man. That's all we can ask, and just be a smart player on the basketball floor. People, Walt, we live in a society now, man, especially a sports society where people love to get offended. Oh, my favorite player, he didn't say he loves being here, so I want to be offended. We got to get past that. The guy, he didn't get shipped where he wanted to. He didn't get the opportunity he thought he was going to be afforded. He got upset. It's okay. It's okay. It's just fun.
Somebody put, if he's not excited to be in our family, we're not excited to accept him. See, I wasn't trying to turn anybody on him or anything. I just was like, bruh, like, let's be honest here. Like you said something that some Mavs fans didn't like, and I mean there are some who are going to be discouraged by what you said. So to those that are discouraged, what would you want to say to them to get them back, bring them back in, and get them ready for the threes that's about to rain down? That you're about to just rain down at the AAC.
Well, I tell you what, for all those Mavs fans who were critical of JJ Redick and took offense to it, there's a whole nother side of Mavs fans who were really excited and didn't think much of it at all, and they understood it for what it was.
That's me. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys. But Billy, let's go to the numbers real quick. Of course, nobody won the championship tonight because the Mavericks lost.
Yeah, well,
let's get over here to these numbers real quick. So we're going to start off at the top with Mr. Dodo. Gave you 34 minutes and 9 points, Billy. Not gonna get it done.
Yeah, not gonna get it done. You know how I feel about Dodo, man. I need 12 points from you, man. You're getting open looks. I need more. Well, can I say something to you real quick about Dorian Finney-Smith, man? Just something.
Hold on real quick before you start that. I want to make sure I tell everybody to go to our YouTube page and subscribe now. Subscribe to the YouTube page. bFb man, go search bFb man as a bFb DFW and subscribe to our YouTube page. We got everything up there. We have bFb that we do on Tuesday and Thursday nights. We have all of our post-game shows up there. And basically, I have press conferences from the Mavericks locker room and stuff like that in there after practice and everything. So go check it out. And shout out to Bam, who was the one. Bam Tasby Jr., who was the one with the if he's not excited to be in our family, we're not excited to accept you. And then John Brown here says Luka's greatness is starting to get in his head.
Well, yeah, hey, there you go. There's the truth to that.
And then there's a question: still want to trade KP?
No, for those people who were ready to push him out the door, I hope you're seeing what we were hoping for. He just needs to be on the floor. When he's on the floor, he's a difference maker. Period.
Go ahead. What you were about to get into?
I was just going to point this out real quick, man. Just in a few short weeks ago, we had our friend Josh Howard join us on bFb. Man, it was a great interview. If you didn't get a chance to check that out, guys,
it's on the YouTube page.
Page. We had an opportunity to have former Mavs forward Josh Howard come join us on the show, and he talked. Man, we talked good basketball. Had a great time with him. Check that out on the YouTube page. But someone brought this up the other day, man. They were talking about they felt like Dorian Finney-Smith could be more productive as a Mavs player if we used him offensively like we used Josh Howard. And I understood what they were saying a little bit, but he's not the same shooter. I'm not going to say Josh Howard was a great shooter, but he did have somewhat of a mid-range game. I don't know that I've ever seen Dorian Finney-Smith hit a mid-range shot, period.
Well, remember, he said himself about his shooting. He said my shot was a little funky.
Yeah, it was. But you know what? I think what they were driving home about Finney-Smith was he could be more productive if we actually ran plays for him early in the game to get him going. As you remember, when we had that interview with Josh Howard, I asked him specifically, I was like, man, was I seeing that wrong? Or did it seem like the Mavericks ran certain plays for you early in the game? It always seemed like he was coming off a screen and shooting off the elbow. And he was like, yeah, man. He said, that's exactly what we were doing because they knew they didn't have to run plays for Josh. He could score in transition. You didn't have to run set plays for him. And I'm just wondering maybe if they attempted to get Finney-Smith going early in the game, if that would affect his overall production. I don't know. I mean, is that something you think we should look into, or is it just like just get yours where you get it? Jump, just get your points where you can find it.
I kind of agree with that, but his role last year was to knock down threes. He hit a lot of threes last year. So I'm thinking that they can still get that out of him, but it may be one of those things where he may just have to become a defensive guy on this team, on this roster.
Yeah. Well,
he might just have to become a defensive guy.
Well, I see Mitch put up a good thing here. He's saying he says the Mavs, they think Finney-Smith defense is all world, and it's not. And it's not, Wall. I'm sorry.
I need to see a stat of who's won that championship belt the most times. I want to say it's him.
It probably is. Yeah, it probably is him. But if they had an offensive belt, he would never even be in the conversation for it. So, I mean, it is what it is. He's a defensive guy. He's a guy you throw out there and say, hey, make it tough on that guy to score and to get the ball and do that type of thing. He does a pretty good job of it, man. But in this league, man, you got to be a two-way guy. You got to be able to give us something offensively as well. And Finney-Smith, sometimes he has it, sometimes he doesn't, man. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo his efforts and what he does for this basketball team, but when you're playing 35, 36 minutes out of a 48-minute game, Walt, 9 points, I'm sorry, it's just not going to get it. That goes for him. That goes for Josh Richardson. That's my guy, but that goes for him. Hell, it goes for anybody out there. If you're playing meaningful minutes, points have got to get on the board. And, you're a guard, you're a forward in this league, man, where defense is not really paramount in this league. You got to be able to get yours. And Dorian Finney-Smith has yet to prove that he can do that consistently for you.
Melly Mel gave you 6 points in 22 minutes tonight. How you liking Melly Mel so far?
I like him. I do. I know that's not a lot. It's not a big number, but I like what he brings to this team, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, Walt. I didn't really know much about him when we got him. I remember you had told me that Donnie had said in the interview they looked at him as a stretch 4 or 5 type guy. And he can shoot the ball. He's active. He's always on the glass trying to get his hands on the ball in some way. He just seems like a kind of a glue guy in a sense or whatever. I know they're starting him as a recent, but He's I think, to Marquis' point right there, an underrated pickup, man. I think he could be a guy that in the playoffs, when you get there, he could give you some meaningful minutes. If you need to play him, 10, 12 minutes in a game, and he can step out, knock down open shots, and he'll also be active. Above all else, Walt, he's a very, very smart basketball player. People have not noticed that yet. He's a very, very smart, high IQ basketball player, as most of the European guys are.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can go with that. Big stops, 31-15 tonight. Chat me up, Billy. What do you basically just went on a rant, and let me update people and said that right now he's the best player on the Mavs. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I am saying that over the past 2 to almost 3 weeks, Kristaps Porzingis is the best basketball player on this Dallas Mavericks team. And yes, that is above one Luka Doncic, who I'm a big fan of, but Kristaps Porzingis has been the best basketball player on this team over the past couple of weeks here when he's been on the floor. Big game tonight, 31 points, 15 rebounds. He fouled out early. I hate that. It would have been nice to have him at the end of the game just as another option. But, Walt, he's been playing well. He's playing like a man on a mission. He's playing with purpose. He's playing with energy and attitude. And, Walt, I like it, man. I really, really, really like Kristaps Porzingis. I know a lot of people have hated on him. I got at Tovash 10. I don't know that he's changed his game, but man, listen, at Tovash 10, we might have to be having a conversation with our guy and bring some clarity to this situation, because Porzingis has been playing out of his goddamn mind lately, and I'm here for it. I am here for it.
You are here for it. You are here for it. Oh man. Next up, Josh Richardson, 16 points tonight.
Man, I didn't see it.
I forgot Maxey didn't play tonight. Maxey's missed a couple games lately.
Yeah, I don't even remember the reason for Maxey Kleber. What was it? Was it some type of injury, or was it a personal situation?
I have no clue.
I remember seeing the little notification pop up on my phone earlier before the game on Bleacher Report. I can't remember what they were saying. I know they said Carlisle Stein came out of protocol, so he was back and available. But Maxey, they missed him tonight. Maxey is a good defender. I think Maxey would have gave you some more points. So, oh God, please don't say that, Jason. Don't say that at all. Don't say that. That would be the worst possible situation if the Mavericks sit Porzingis tomorrow, and because you'll need Porzingis against the Sixers. You need Porzingis. Trust me.
Yeah, you do need him. If Joel Embiid is back too.
Yeah, you'll need Porzingis. So don't be stupid, Rick. Maxey didn't play tonight. Josh Richardson gave us 16 points. Walt, I really didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't really see much. I really didn't. I mean, I thought he played well. Obviously, 16 points say that he did something productive, but and actually that's a good game for him, given his role on his basketball team. But I tell you what, it was a very quiet 16 points. I know he had a big three in the fourth quarter off of a Brunson assist. I saw him get the putback at the end of the game, or towards the end of the game, off of the Brunson missed layup. He was there. It just didn't fall in the Mavericks' way tonight. But the guys still played well. It was one of those games where a lot of people played well, but if your normal guys do what they do, you win the game. And there's a great example of that as we keep going down the line here.
Luka, 29 points tonight.
Excellent.
The second best player on the team, as you referring to him as.
Yeah, excellent game for your second best player. So I'll take that. Excellent game for your second best player. Yeah, 29 points. What's that? 7 assists, and is that 8 rebounds?
Yes, it is.
That's not a bad game from Luka. I mean, Luka didn't play bad. He just
no, not 8 rebounds, 3 rebounds.
Oh well. No, it's not gonna get it. But Luka, he didn't have a great game tonight in terms of filling all the stats, but he had a lot of like costly turnovers toward the end of the game, trying to do too much. And I hate when he does that, man. I just wish he would play more within the confines of the game. Utilize the guys that are out there on the floor with you. It's not Luka versus the Spurs. It's Luka, KP, Josh Richardson, Jalen Brunson, Carlisle Stein, Dwight Powell. It's the Mavs versus the Spurs. And he's got to get that out of his mind and stop thinking he has to do everything by his damn self. And that's where Rick's going to have that conversation with him.
Okay. I guess I could dig that. Jalen Brunson with 11 points tonight in 30 minutes. How you been feeling about Jalen lately?
He hasn't been playing well lately. Has been kind of in a little streak. Well, I think you were the one that brought this up a while back since the All-Star break, man. Jalen Brunson he's not been playing as well as, pre-All-Star break Jalen Brunson. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if his role has switched. I don't know if they're asking him to do something different. But it just doesn't seem the same. But hopefully by the time we get toward that playoff stretch, which we're approaching right now, hopefully he'll pick up and start playing a lot better.
We got here, hey, do you believe in the wrist injury by KP? He's been dunking donuts. He's been dunking donuts at basketball in the rim lately.
Well, we knew that was a fluke, Walt. I called that when I
Oh yeah. I was like, now wait a minute. We're holding a wrist injury from when now?
Yeah, he's shooting the ball so well that his wrist is hurting now. Okay, let's stop. We gotta stop with these lies.
I agree. It's a team sport, not just a Luka sport. Okay, man, y'all going? What? You've gotten the people to turn on Luka tonight. What is that about?
No, it's not about turning on Luka. It's just about the truth, man. We all everybody here on this video right now, including me and you, Walt. We want what's in the best. We're like parents. We want what's in the best interest of our children, man. And so we have to call it for what it is, man. If they're not performing, they're just not performing. And Luka's got to be better with his decision making and not turning the ball over in crucial moments. Guys have got to give better effort. We got to get more from Jalen Brunson. KP needs more touches. Coaching's got to be better. We just call it for what it is, man. I mean, it's not about turning on anybody. It's just about doing what's best for this basketball team. We all want to see.
He is speaking the gospel.
Oh, man.
Whoa. Now they say you're speaking. John Brown says you are speaking the gospel.
Don't listen, man. If you knew my lifestyle, man, we don't even compare me to anything close to speaking anything that's profound.
I love Luka, but if we're gonna get to that level, he got to start trusting his teammates.
That's it. You gotta trust your teammates, man. Got to trust your teammates.
Can't believe you guys are doing this Luka bash fest tonight. What's wrong?
Man, stop it.
Guys out here bashing the best player on the Mavericks since Dirk Nowitzki on this team, and this is what we're going to do.
Well, according to the last 3 weeks, it's the other guy. Okay.
Well, somebody who didn't have a good game tonight. Tim Hardaway Jr. gave me 2 points tonight.
Yeah, and Walt, that's an anomaly. That's not going to happen again.
TH
was far better than that. He just had
just a bad night, man. For TH,
it was the wrong night to have your worst night. I mean, think about it. THJ, if he even on a poor night that we talk about from THJ, which is he only scored like 9 points. 9 points that win the game going away. So I mean, he just had like an awful night, man. I'm sure he's thinking about it. He's feeling it. He knows he could have done a lot more. And, and he will do a lot more, man. So I'm not concerned about it. THJ's built the right way. He has the right type of character. He'll bounce back. He'll be just fine. I'm not concerned about him in the least bit.
Other than that, Dwight Powell gave you 9 and Trey Burke gave you 4.
13 points combined from those guys. I guess that's icing on the cake. Not so much tonight because we lost the game, but the Mavericks will be fine, Walt. Like I tell you, tomorrow night around this hour, we'll be doing the same thing, and we'll be talking about the Mavericks winning the game against the Sixers, and we'll be talking about THJ with 20-plus points. We'll talk about Luka doing things that he's doing, KP. We'll talk about a lot of different stuff, man. The Mavericks have just got to understand they're not good enough of a team to play up and down to the level of their competition. They've just got to find a way to be more consistent. This is that time where they're supposed to be going on that run that I was telling you about, Walt, that was going to catapult them to that 6 seed, maybe even a potential 5. They just got to find ways to win games and stop dropping games that they should not drop. You should be excited to see the Rockets and those guys on the schedule. You should be excited to see that. Can't drop games to them.
Well, matter of fact, it doesn't appear that Rick Carlisle spoke tonight. If they did, they did not cue it up. But let's hear who, according to you, from the second best player on the Mavericks, Mr. Luka Doncic, right here after the game.
Okay, Davide, go ahead.
Hey, Luka, how disappointing is a loss like this, especially when you guys have that great comeback late in the game?
Very disappointing. That's all I got to say.
Tim McMahon.
Luka, Rick mentioned that you guys had talked about doubling DeRozan on that last possession. He wasn't sure exactly what happened there. Do you have any insight into what happened on that possession?
He made a hell of a shot. He was a good defender. I think he made a hell of a shot, and props to him for making the shot.
Well, why didn't the double come?
You asking me that?
Yes. I'm asking if you have any insight on that.
No, what's inside stays inside, We don't need to put it out there in the media.
Alexander.
Luka, odlično tvoj igra 29 poena, ali jedna utakmica koja je mogla biti pobjeda, nažalost nije. Što misliš da bi počinjali ponovo utakmicu, da bi nešto drugo uradio da bude pobjeda?
Mislim da samo igrat jače. Trebalo bi igrat jače. Posle prvog poluvremena nismo dobro otišli vani i ja mislim da treba igrat jače.
Okay, we're going to switch back to English and then we'll do one in Spanish and be done. Cassidy, go ahead.
Hi, Luka. I know this was a disappointing loss. I just want to fast forward to your game tomorrow night against the Sixers. You and Joel Embiid have the highest career points per game among international players. What do you think that says about where the game is today, specifically among international players? And what are you looking forward to with that matchup?
I mean, yeah, he's playing on an amazing level. He's in the MVP conversation, of course. Their team is winning, and he's an amazing player. And hopefully we win the game. That's what I hope for.
Okay, and then the last one will be Maria.
Hola, Luka, espero estés bien. Tanto tú como DeJounte Murray tuvieron grandes actuaciones esta noche. Entonces, ¿cómo describirías el enfrentamiento contra él, considerando que ambos son jugadores jóvenes y muy talentosos?
Sí, ha jugado muy bien hoy. Creo que va jugando una temporada muy buena. Sobre todo es un jugador muy bueno en defensa. Es difícil jugar contra él. Y en ataque está creciendo cada día.
Okay, thanks, Luka. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
No.
How do you like that, Billy? We're keeping things in the house. We're not putting it out there.
I like that, Luka. I like that, nephew. We do not like to disclose the conversations that happen within this locker room. Well, it's common sense. I mean, again, anybody with half of a basketball brain understands what was supposed to have happened there. I think we were all left dumbfounded, wondering why it did not happen. I'm almost certain, man, it had to have been some type of mental lapse. I refuse to believe that Rick Carlisle is a coach that does not understand this game. He understands what needs to happen in that moment, just like me, you, and everyone else does. I'm not sure why it didn't happen, but it's not the time to be throwing anyone under the bus. It could have been very simple. Hey, we called for the double team. We should have came on over there. Someone forgot their assignment, whatever the situation was. But we don't need to. It is what it is. It's spilled milk at this point. It's under the bridge. There was a mistake that was made. And ultimately, it could have ended up being the same exact result. Who knows? But you have to at least attempted. And for whatever reason, the Mavericks didn't get that done. So let's keep things internal and let's just figure out a way to move on. And they win against the Sixers tomorrow, nobody's going to worry about it. Exactly, Marty. Learn from it and move on. Simple.
Well, glad you said that because Rick's video is too large. I'll get to Rick here in a second. But let's hear from the best player on the Mavericks, as you alluded to earlier. Big Stops Porzingis is the number one player on this team right now.
See what my guys just said.
Okay, Brad, go ahead, please.
Hey, Kristaps. I was wondering, it looked like there was some confusion, or you were motioning to the sideline either before your sixth foul. Do you remember what was going on? You were talking to the referees and also toward the bench. Was it something to do with your
Sixth foul?
Yeah, before. I think it was before. Well, it was before that.
Oh no, that was because I saw the game stopped. It was at 2:54 or something, and the clock kept running. And I was the one that seen it, so I was letting the refs know that.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know. Okay. Well, and can you just discuss, just the difficulty of fouling out in that situation? You guys are so close right there.
Yeah, especially towards the end, a couple of touch fouls that, the Paul one, I should have just, if I was going to foul him, I was actually trying to avoid him, but, there was a little bit of contact and they called it. And, that one I probably should have or fouled him hard, or make him shoot 2 free throws, or just, let him score. So I'm not in foul trouble, but yeah, those things happen, and a lot of times I'm out of position and I'm helping my teammate, and then I turn around and the guy's already going up and I kind of touch him without even wanting to touch him, and it's a foul, and that's how it goes. So, and then the Rosen one, was going for the block. In my head, I seen it clearly that I was going to get the block, but he's good. He leaned back. I hit his head a little bit. It's a foul. That was it. So it's a tough one. Obviously, I want to be out there and we even with everything, we had the chance to win the game. Just DeMar hit a huge shot, and hats off to him. And it just shows how hard it is to win every night. Against the NBA team.
Kevin?
Hey, KP, how are you feeling about your overall game right now? It seemed like your willingness to drive to the basket, your decision-making and decisiveness seem to be more consistent these days. How are you feeling about your overall game right now?
Yeah. Feeling good. Just playing my game, trying to find the opportunities within our offense. And that's it, taking care of my body, working on my game. Being who I am, and that's it. And then showing up and just living with the results.
Tim Cato?
Hey, KP, I feel like you always have an interesting perspective on what it's like to be on the court and in situations like this. What's it like to be in foul trouble and to kind of be cognizant of that you are close to a limit, whether it's the first quarter and you have 3 or late and you have 5 or whatever it is, and then still play your game while also trying to avoid, adding to that, obviously, which didn't work out tonight. But I think generally just the idea of how that works, I'm curious.
Yeah, it's a balance, right? Because you don't want to play too soft where you're like letting everybody drive on you and just to not get, foul. But on the other hand, you have to be smart and you have to, make sure you don't commit a dumb foul, for no reason. That one I wasn't trying to foul. I was actually, as I said, I was just trying to get the clean block, and just he was leaning back a little bit and just hit my arm or forearm. I don't remember. And that's it. So there's got to be smart with it. Maybe it's not even about the late game ones. I feel like there's maybe some that I could have been in a better position to avoid the early ones maybe, and then I'm not in that position at the end of the game, so you just got to be smart and keep learning game, keep learning the situations, and that way I'll be, a step ahead of everybody.
Okay, the last one we'll do in Espanol, Ferdinand.
Not step ahead of everybody, step ahead of, the situation. That's what I meant.
Saludos, Kristaps, desde Puerto Rico. Desde tu lesión, ¿cuán ha mejorado tu juego? ¿Cuánto ha mejorado?
Perdón, ¿cuánto ha mejorado?
¿Cuánto ha mejorado tu juego desde tu lección?
We don't need to hear that. It's in Spanish. But Billy, check me out about what you just heard there from Big Stop.
Well, I like what he was saying. I mean, those fouls towards the end of the game, Walt, to me, they were very ticky-tack, considering we've seen harder fouls not get called. I think it was kind of
BS. I think Luka had one. I think Luka had one in the first quarter.
Yeah. The referees are going to call the game, man, as they see it. You're not going to get every call. Sometimes you're going to get a call that goes for you. Sometimes they're going to go against you. It is what it is. Overall, KP has been playing tremendous over the past few weeks. And he's really been on fire. He's really been an inspiration, I think, to a lot of his teammates. And he's really been stepping into a leadership role on his basketball team. Losses like this hurt in the end, but they're lessons. If the Mavericks are able to take this loss tonight and convert it into a lesson and understand what happened and understand their flaws and get better from it, they'll be just fine, Walt. I'm not concerned about it. This team is in an excellent place. They're in an excellent place. They could just simply be in a better place if they were able to close out some of these close games and do the things to that winning basketball team do in winning moments. And given the fact that they're still young, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they're right where they need to be. There's no reason to panic or flip out here or anything like that. I just think that they're still trying to figure things out, and they're well on their way. They got the right coach for it. They got good the chemistry, the makeup of this team is good. They got good character, got good heart. I think they'll be just fine. It's just a process.
Is it just me, my own person? I sometimes appreciate a guy who fouls out because that means he's playing hard to me. That's just in my eyes. I feel like when a guy fouls out, because it doesn't happen often. So I feel like when a guy fouls out, he's out there playing. He's playing some ball. He's playing some hella defense.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's out there doing things. I mean, here's what we do know. You're not going to pick up a foul for letting guys just go around you. You're not going to get a foul if you never contest a shot. You're not going to get a foul if you don't go up for offensive boards or attack the basket. And so to your point, when you do foul out, no, we don't want to celebrate you fouling out of a game because it ultimately is detrimental to your team, in which we saw tonight. But at the same time, it does say something about the intensity that you're playing with. Man, you're getting after it. You're really, really staying after it, and you're focused and locked into the game. And I love what Porzingis was able to do there in the interview, Walt. He was very specific and direct about what happened. He understood, okay, when I got this foul, this is what I was attempting to do. This is what I saw, da-da-da. Seems very, very self-aware of what he was trying to do and what was going on in that moment in the game. It doesn't seem lost. It wasn't a like, what the hell are you doing type foul or whatever. I mean, it was just one that he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and it is what it is, man.
We do have your head coach here ready to go. So let's hear from Rick Carlisle and hear what he had to say about tonight's loss.
Tough loss, disappointing loss. You look at the stats, they shot 54%, got to the free throw line 27 times. We shot 48, got the free throw line 15 times. I think, that's an indicator that we needed to be more aggressive. They won the boards by 4. That's another indicator. I just thought we started off, just kind of okay in the game, and this is a game that you got to come out really full bore, with a physical posture, and we didn't do it. We got some good things going and stretches throughout the game, but the NBA is a league where you've got to sustain over 48. We didn't do that tonight. Made a good run at the end, but it's hard to have to live on late game comebacks, and so it's a disappointing loss.
Okay, Tim McMahon.
Hey, Rick, DeRozan obviously had it going and hit the big shot there at the end. What was the thought process behind not sending a double at him to try to get the ball out of his hands on that possession?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's something that we talked about doing. We talked about doing it in the timeout. I'm gonna have to get more specific on exactly what our triggers were on that. Obviously, we should have gone, and that's on me. But we had talked about doing it. I'll have to look at it, and I can give you a better answer tomorrow.
Tim Cato.
Yeah, Rick. Have you seen a player this young in Luka being as refined in his post game as he is? And is there anybody he reminds you of with the post game and how he uses it?
He reminds me of Luka Doncic. I mean, he's been this good. He's gotten better over 2.5 years, but he's been good in the post, ever since he came here. And so, it's a great skill. And tonight, San Antonio was mixing up some late double teams, and he does both. He gets the catch, he sees the floor. The great ones like him and Kidd and Bird and LeBron, Kobe, those kind of guys. It's like they have eyes in the back of their head. So he was great in the post all night long.
Brad.
Yeah, Rick, you mentioned the start of the game being okay. They also hit you at the start of the second, third, and fourth quarters. I think it was like 5-0, 9-2, 11-2. Kind of put you back on your heels. Can you put a finger on what was going on at the start of each of those quarters? Were they just more aggressive than you guys?
Yeah, I think that's the simple answer. We're a team that's still learning some lessons about, just keeping our guard up, navigating through a very busy schedule, et cetera. It's not an excuse; it's just a fact. But we've come a long way over, I call it 2 years, since we kind of had this group together, and we got a quick turnaround, and we got one of the best teams in the league coming in tomorrow, and so this will be a good test for us.
Maria.
Hi, Coach. Hope you're well. Thinking a little bit about the future, we're in the last third of the season. So what is the key for this Mavs team to stay mentally and emotionally motivated and resilient when the playoffs are just over a month away?
Well, the key is to, be a process-oriented team. Understanding that the foundational things, that we preach are the most important things. Starting with, playing with an edge, both on offense and defense. Playing hard, playing unselfish, and and everybody playing to their strengths, and everybody helping everyone play to their strengths. And listen, we're doing better with that all the time. But you get a game like tonight, and it's disappointing. There's no other way to say it.
The last one is Mattia in Italy.
Hi, without Kleber, Nicolo Melli had a lot of minutes. What can be his role in the next part of the season and maybe in playoffs?
Well, he's a guy that is ready. He can play both the 4 and 5 positions. I thought, ever since he's come over, we've asked him to do a variety of things. He's playing a variety of different defensive coverages. He's guarded everyone from, Jason Tatum on a switch to Rudy Gay tonight to, guards, centers, you name it. And so we like him. He works hard. He's always prepared. And, he's a guy that's going to help us down the stretch of the season.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, just to clarify, ability of going, but we elected not to. We elected to let Dodo guard him straight up. In hindsight, we obviously should have gone that, and that's on me. That's my decision. So that's a detailed description of it. All right, thank you.
Okay, he came back for that one. I thought it started over, but no, he came back to give that answer on that last part.
Yeah, he did. Well,
what are your takeaways from what Coach Carlisle had to say there? Billy, chat me up.
Not much. Well, I mean, we knew what was going on. I was hoping that someone would come and ask the question about why they didn't run the double and everything, and say he was going to have to go back and look at it. They know the answer, man. It was a blown assignment. It was a blown call. Somebody didn't do simply what they were supposed to be doing. There's no reason.
Well, I mean, there's only two people in the area. There's Luka and Dodo. So
well, we know who they're not going to blame. We do know that. So we know who was there. Dodo was there. So I mean, there's only one other person that we could talk about here. Conveniently, he says, we're going to keep that thing internal. Okay, that's fine. Everybody who watched the game, we saw what happened there. We know who was close. What we do know, Walt, in the game of basketball, you're not going to call a guy from way on the other side of the floor to run across on a double. You're going to be whoever's closest to you.
Right.
So, Luka, if you didn't get there and you blew the assignment or whatever, okay, that's fine. Just eat it. Hey, I didn't get there. I should have. It is what it is. Like I said, it could have very well ended the same way. But, Walt, I just have a sense of calmness about this whole situation. I'm not in the least bit upset. The San Antonio Spurs, they don't scare me. I'm very disappointed that we lost to a team that is below us. It is what it is. By way of that, Walt, I may owe our friend Carolina Teague. I may owe her Starbucks based on.
Wait a minute. She took the Mavericks though.
I know. But deep down in her heart, she felt another way. So she did choose the Mavericks tonight. I did see that, but I may have to supply her with her drink of choice from Starbucks or whatever, per a conversation that was being had. But it is what it is, man. The Mavericks took a loss tonight, Walt. They're still better than the Spurs. They'll bounce back. I think they'll be better. They'll be fine. They just got to tighten these things up. You cannot have these type of issues happening late in games, especially going down the stretch where every single game is going to count for something in the standings. You can't have that.
We got one more interview here. We got Kick Doors, Josh Richardson. Let's hear what he had to say with his contribution to the game tonight. What did he give you again, Billy?
16. He gave me 16 points.
Let's see what he has to say about his 16-point outing tonight.
All right, go ahead, Davide.
Hey, Jason. What do you think went wrong tonight? Obviously, a disappointing loss.
It's Josh first, though, not Jason.
Sorry, man. Sorry, man. My bad.
I honestly don't know if there's like a big reason that we lost. I think that they just were playing harder than us for part of the game, and I think we dug ourselves a little hole in the fourth. That was a little too deep to get back, but I think we fought back and gave ourselves a chance. So I'm proud of that, and we got to brush it off and be ready to pop tomorrow.
Tim Cato.
Hey, Josh. How do you rationalize losses like this where I think the way you described it is that you feel like, all things considered, you guys did pretty well? Obviously would have preferred the win. Is there a way to leave a loss like this and say, if we do similar stuff and just a little bit better, a little bit more like we are usually, that we should be the team we are? If that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we played a terrible game, honestly. So, like what you said, I mean, just be a little bit better going forward and a little bit more locked in for 48 instead of maybe 43 or 44. Then I think it's a different ball game.
Eddie?
Josh, this may not be the greatest time to ask this since you guys just had 2 days off, but is the dense nature of this season at some point does it start to grind on you and you just say, God, there's another, it's just day after day after day sometimes?
Yeah, it's tough. It's different, instead of not as many practice games, you got games. We just came off of 3 and 4 days, which is tough. And we're going right into it back to back. But I mean, it's what we signed up for. So we got to do our best to be ready and go out and fight every night.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Well, Billy, there you go. From Cake Doors himself.
He said it. Stay locked in. The game 48 minutes long. Can't be locked in for 43, 44 minutes. You got to be locked in for 48. That's the difference.
So,
a lot of these games, Walt, this is the NBA. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead and finish your saying. I'll go to mine next. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, this is the NBA, man. This is the best of the best. There's parity in this league. There is no off night, per se. So if you don't bring it for 48 minutes, there's a great chance that you can lose a basketball game. And that's what happened to this Mavericks team tonight. They did not seem to be fully locked in and focused, giving their best effort for the full 48 minutes. Sometimes they'll give maximum effort and still lose. I'd rather do that and know that, hey, maybe we're just not as good as what we like talent-wise, but no amount of talent can be sacrificed for or no amount of talent is can be sacrificed for effort. You have to do effort for 48 minutes, man, and I think Josh Richardson did a good point of bringing that up. And Walt, as quiet as it's kept, Josh Richardson is a leader on this basketball team. He's a leader on this basketball team, and again, you're not the best player on the team, and you don't have to always be. Let's look like I think Boban's a leader on this basketball team as well. It's not the best player, but you got that leadership has got to be there and call people out and bring guys together, and they got to find a way to do that. And they still got time, but it'd be a great time to start doing that now and start working towards something as we get closer to the playoffs or the playoff push.
Well, it's funny you bring it up. I got the standings here on the screen. As a matter of fact, why don't I share this with the people real quick before we get out of here? So we look right here, and the Dallas Mavericks are number 7 right now. So if the playoffs started right now, they will be playing the Phoenix Suns in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
They've had what are they? They're a couple games back from the Trailblazers.
Yeah, looks like they're 2 games? Yeah, they're 2 games back in Portland.
Okay, so the Spurs were ahead of them at one point. Now the Spurs have dropped to number 9.
Right.
So, and that's with a couple losses and a couple. Now, I think that with a couple dubs, they actually should be in the number 6 spot. The Mavericks.
Right.
They would have won off. They would have probably beat Houston. They would be in the number 6 spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These 2 losses like this hurt when from 4 to 6 or 4 to 8 is not more than looks like what is that? Maybe like a 3 game or maybe within 5 or 6 games of one another. So every game, if you can put together 2, 3, 4 game winning streak, you got to do it, man. That can move you. That can catapult you up a couple of spots, man. This is the Western Conference. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed from night to night. So you got to find these wins. That Houston loss and this loss tonight looked terrible in terms of helping your chances in the standings, but they're still there. They are still there, but man, I sure would like to be in that 6 seed right now with the opportunity to keep trying to move forward. I want to get away from that play-in game. I want to get out of there. I don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah, because it looks like you might have to play Golden. I wouldn't sleep on Golden State in a playing game. And actually today they find out Wiseman tore his was it ACL? Meniscus.
Oh, that's a rookie.
Tore
Oh,
his
yeah.
meniscus.
He might be done for the year then.
He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tore his meniscus. So just real quick, let's take a look at the schedule here. Going forward. Tomorrow night, they got the 76ers. Wednesday, they got the Grizzlies. Friday, they got the Knicks. Sunday, they got the Kings. Wednesday, they got the Pistons. And then next Thursday, Billy, maybe he'll fly in. He'll be flying in, but I don't think he'll be on the court as the Mavericks going to take on the Lakers over there at the AAC. And they're not only going to take on they're going to take them on twice. They're going to play them Thursday, and they're going to turn around and play them again on Saturday.
Yep, back to back. That's a nice little serving of dubs there if the Mavericks want it. There's a nice little serving of dubs to be had there if they want it. They can. Philly is the first game. We need to take care of that. Get that on out the way. But man, I tell you what, to know that I got the Pistons coming up, the Knicks, who are not a good team. Some of these guys have good players on it, but the Knicks, the Pistons, I get the Grizzlies again.
You got the Kings in there too.
Kings, I mean, that's a winnable game. I mean, Walt, you can if you want to, and we're not sitting guys just because. As long as KP doesn't have a pinky injury, random, or Luka has back stiffness again, if you're playing your guys, Walt, you could very well go out there and win. That was 6 games. You could win 5 out of 6, Walt. You could be right there in that 6th seed, maybe even pushing for that 5. And then the team that's currently in 5, you get them back-to-back opportunities without AD, without LeBron James, potentially. So there's opportunity to make up some ground here, man, if they want it. They've just got to find a way to get into a good spot and play good basketball right now. They got to find a way to do that and stay healthy.
Well, so that's going to do it for us here tonight, but we're going to be back tomorrow with the Mavs and 76ers post-game show. I'm glad to have Billy back. He's back from Brooklyn or the hospital, whatever you want to consider it. He's back from it. We got him here in the house. So we'll be back here tomorrow night. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. If you haven't had a chance yet, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Type in bFb Mavs, bFb DFW, and subscribe to the channel. We got a whole bunch of good stuff going on over there, but check it out. But like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow. The Mavericks play at 6:30, so we'll probably be about 8, somewhere about 8 or 9. Yeah, no problem, Jason. Big shout out to the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. I didn't know we were such rock stars over there.
There you go, man. My guy.
Like we always say, always do what's best for business. And if we don't see you around, then we'll see you around. But we will see you around tomorrow night.
That's right, guys.